and welcome to my March 6th video update. In kind of a new place here, we're actually at our son's house, helping him out with his children while his wife's away at a conference. I just watched a YouTube video with Peter McKinnon, a Canadian blogger, photographer, a young man who has really done marvelous things with his account on YouTube and garnered over 1 million subscribers in I think less than a year. It was really quite phenomenal. But he was talking to a friend, and it was really kind of recording a chat between the two of them and their experience in making YouTube videos and making videos in general. And it made me think about myself and why I do this and so on, because they were talking about how it's interesting to see how some videos just really take off and get a lot of views, and yet those oftentimes are the videos that he and his friend, and they do things separately typically, but this was a recording of the two of them. It's oftentimes a video they did kind of randomly and without a whole lot of planning. So it's one of those crazy things. What is it that makes people watch a particular video? And so then the other part that they were talking about was just coming up with content ideas and things that you want to make videos on, and I can identify with that very clearly. And I usually, for these updates, it reflects on something that I've experienced, like working with that new mic, working on teaching a class or whatever it might be, or a new piece of equipment that I've gotten. So it kind of flows. I guess if I stop buying any equipment, I won't have any more subjects, right? But the coming up with the content really is an interesting pursuit. But it also is about, why do people watch your videos? Are they watching because of the content? And I think in my case, and although I'm small potatoes compared to the kind of views that Peter McKinnon gets and many other people get, but that's not really why I do this. I do this because I like to I like to experiment with new things. I like to learn new things myself, and I like to help people. Maybe help them as well as motivate some who wouldn't do this otherwise, but really would like to start making videos, whether they're ones they broadcast on YouTube or they're just doing it for family or just for fun. So what they were talking about, why is it people watch these videos? And the conclusion they came to was, very often it's more about the personality of the person that's doing the videos, and it really doesn't matter what the content is. So this is really kind of a random kind of video for me. So as I said, that kind of made me think about how I'm going to do these things, and really that I often like for the last I'm using like a lot there. For the last several videos, I've been sitting, in my room at home, or now I'm sitting at the dining room table at our son's. And I do want to experiment more with my 360 camera so I can walk around a little bit. So anyway, that's that topic. The second topic that I wanted to talk about was, and it kind of spins off of that, is that I mentioned that I'm doing a summer camp on filmmaking. It'll limit the camp to like 6, 13 to 15-year-olds. And it'll last a week, so it's going to be half days for 5 days, so a total of 15 hours of contact with them. And I had it all mapped out. And what I realized, and then I not only did I have it mapped out, but I also then came up with the activities I would do and the details of how I was going to execute those activities and what I was going to have the kids do. And I felt pretty good about that. Or then we came up here to Northern Virginia, and I was talking to our son, who's an 18-year veteran English teacher, high school English teacher. And first of all, I realized how much I enjoy designing instruction. And it's really what I've done all my life, for 50 years. I started out as a German teacher, spent 17 years designing instruction in a German class in high school. And then I got into instructional technology, and I did that for the rest of my career at the K-12 level with teachers and the university level with faculty members. So I really love doing that. And just the exercise of designing how to teach something is enjoyable to me. But after talking to our son, I reassessed what I was planning to do for these 5 days, which I thought I had structured very well, culminating in a visit downtown in our small town and having them interview merchants, like bicycle shop owners. I think we have a skateboard shop, restaurants, places like the bakeries, pastries, so on. And that's what my plan was. Well, after talking to our son, I came up with a new idea. So the second point of today is how important it is to collaborate with somebody. Even though you think you've got something figured out, show it to somebody else. And I've shown my plan to other people, but they weren't teachers. And their reaction was, "Right, that looks good." But Henry drilled me, which he usually does. And I completely changed my idea of how I'm going to do this. And real quickly, this is, as I said, 5 days. The last day is really going to be a show and tell to parents, and finishing up the projects they work on. They're going to get a stand like I have, and they're going to get a mic as I'm using now. And so they'll have a kit. And what I'm going to do, instead of having like 3 days of instruction, then a fourth day when they actually go downtown and interview the merchants or video the merchants, I'm going to have 1 day of instruction, kind of intensive on camera moves and the multi-shot approach and some other things that we do, so that they get used to the idea of using their smartphone. They're all going to have, it's going to be iPhones or iPod touches, to record in a horizontal orientation, something that's going to be the building blocks for a film they're going to make. And we'll talk about what the importance of B-roll is, because that's basically what we're going to capture in the first outing. And then the second day, instead of staying in we have a renovated garage, or not a renovated garage, but we've converted a garage into an outdoor room, and that's going to be our classroom. So instead of returning there, we're going to get out in town, and I'll pre-arrange with some merchants who are willing to do this to let them record in their shop. So let's say it's a bicycle shop, so they're repairing a bicycle, and I'll have them use the multi-shot approach to record the bicycle repair. And then I have two granddaughters who at the time will be 17 and 19 years old. And they're going to be my assistants. So one will go with a team of two, another will go with a team of two, and I'll go with a team of two to different merchants. And they'll record and capture all this footage. And then we'll find some place where we can meet and sit down and have them work on putting that footage together, going over what they have and see what they have. In the process, we will also encourage them to talk to the merchant, of course, and get an idea of what the business is about. So they'll have all that. And then the third day, we'll meet back at the garage classroom, and we'll work on really putting the footage together that they had captured the day before into a video that tells a story. And then we'll do some practicing with interviewing techniques. And my granddaughters and I will do 3 different activities or something, and they'll interview us about what we're doing, so they get used to asking people questions. But the idea is they're going to I've already laid out this video, and when they go back to the merchants on the third day, they're going to talk to the merchant for the purpose of getting sound bites to use throughout the video. And not just a traditional sit-down interview kind of thing, although they may do it that way and record it that way. They won't use it that way. They'll use the person's voice to talk about something they're showing in the footage they captured. So anyway, it really totally changed the way I plan to do this. And when we come back then the fourth day at the garage, we will lay all this out and finish up that video. They'll learn about making voiceovers, and they'll create a narrative as a storyteller to lay out over the video they've captured and put together. And then the fifth day, we'll invite their parents. As they finish up, we'll invite their parents towards the end of the morning, and they'll show their videos. So we'll have our own little kind of Oscar party, if you will, in the garage. But the point of all this was that just talking to some other teacher, somebody else who is used to designing instruction and presenting instruction, was such a valuable thing for me to reassess what I was planning to do. And it's the same thing with making videos like this. Now, this is just a talking video, but if I'm trying to teach something in a video, again, it would be important to have somebody, and I don't do this enough, because it's the way I turn these around, I don't really have the opportunity to do that. But to collaborate with somebody in making your videos. So, a little bit of rambling today, but hopefully makes you think about something relative to your own desire to make videos or to work with video. So, thank you very much for checking in today, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.